50 steps, when suddenly, from behind, my younger sister overtook me and raced ahead, teasing me along the way. Yeah. I was upset. She can't race before me. I have to reach the temple first and win the challenge, I decided. That seems pretty easy. She is over there and about to take a right. So if I go to the edge of these steps and then jump over to that rock on the mountain and then cross over to the other side of the steps, I can surpass her and reach the temple first. Let's do it, I said. So I went to the edge of the steps and jumped on top of the rock that was there on the mountain slope. And just as I was about to climb over to the other side, the unexpected happened. The rock beneath my feet shuddered. It happened so suddenly, it caused me to lose my balance and I turned. Now, instead of focusing on north towards the temple, I had turned and my body was focusing on pointing out towards the ground beneath. And at that point of time, the earth's gravitational force unleashed its fury and it pulled me straight down. I hurtled at blazing speed. My sister gaped in horror as I ran past her. Everything was happening in microseconds. I was tongue-tied, couldn't cry out for help, just desperately flailing my arms as if to say, somebody stop me, somebody save me. Nobody understood me. People mistook me as just a reckless teenager trying to dash down deliberately down the steps. Within seconds, I was at the edge of the steps, about to roll over from the other side of the mountain slope to my eventual horrendous death. I could see my doom a few seconds from now. Just then, the unbelievable happened. Out of nowhere, a hand reached out and clasped my wrist. It slowed me down, and within a few cartwheels, I landed against the trunk of the only tree next to the steps. I was saved, unhurt, with a few minor scratches. I looked up to find my savior was an old, frail woman in her late 60s. Unfortunately, she could not control herself from falling, and she fell, her face battering against the stony, rough steps. I noticed my savior lying beside me, battered, her face bleeding profusely, grimacing in pain. Before I could regain my wits, there was an angry mob accusing me of pushing and injuring this woman. Suddenly, two women from my tourist bus who knew me broke through the crowd, took me and rushed me back to the temple. I went and informed my mother what had happened, how this woman had saved my life. I told her I want to go back there, help her, thank her, pay for her medical expenses. When we went down the stairs to look for the woman, she was gone. She was nowhere to be found. I went and inquired with a few passers-by, one of them being a doctor. He told me that he had given her first aid and then a few people had whisked her off to a nearby hospital. He assured me that there was nothing much to worry. She was hurt, but not fatal. She would have some stitches on her face, but eventually within a few weeks recover back to normal. I was relieved. But then he revealed something that knocked me off my senses. He told me that woman did not belong to any of those 6 tourist buses that were parked at the base of the mountain. In other words, nobody knew who that woman was. Nobody knew from where she came. Who was that woman? Did she appear only to save me? It has been 22 years since, and I know I will never be able to uncover the truth. But that accident taught me an invaluable lesson: to reach out and help those in distress. I realized power is not about biceps and six-packs. Power is not about controlling 10, 20, 50 people. Real power is the ability to bring positive change in the lives of people. So friends, the next time you see somebody in distress, somebody stranded, lost for directions, trapped in an accident, don't just move on and say, they probably deserved it, they'll figure it out themselves. Instead, stretch out your hand, help them. Make yourself powerful. The real power is in creating a change in the lives of other people. Back to you, Toastmasters.